everyone, welcome back to Bobo's Biology channel.
I am Marc.
And I am Celine.
And we are the Bobo's Biology team.
Today we will explain the citric acid cycle.
The process in which the body turns nutrients into energy the body can utilize.
Every moment, your cell turns food into energy, fueling the entire body.
Bobo's trying the same thing with a lemon and a dream.
Not bad, Bobo. The lemon powers the generator, which spins the wheel.
It's not exactly efficient, but hey, he's onto something.
Inside your cells, there is a much better system.
It's called the Citric Acid Cycle, and it extracts energy from food way better than lemons and wires.
That energy powers everything you do, from thinking to blinking to even breakdancing.
Okay, maybe not breakdancing, but you get the idea.
Before we start our fun journey into the depths of the mitochondria and the citric acid cycle, we need to gather our supplies that make it easier to understand the wonders of biology.
So let's start to pack our bags with the information we need for our journey ahead. The citric acid cycle happens in all aerobic organisms.
An aerobic organism is a living organism that requires oxygen to survive, grow, and carry out its metabolic processes.
In eukaryotes, the citric acid cycle takes place in the mitochondrial matrix.
And in prokaryotes, it happens in the cytoplasm.
Did you know that the citric acid cycle is an amphibolic process?
Wait, doesn't that mean that it serves both catabolic and anabolic roles?
Yeah, exactly. You hit the nail on the head. Anabolic processes build complex molecules from simpler ones, while catabolic processes break down complex molecules into simpler ones.
So the citric acid cycle's anabolic function is to provide building blocks for the biosynthesis of, for example, amino acids.
And an example for the catabolic role of the citric acid cycle would be the oxidization of acetyl-CoA to release energy in the form of ATP, NADH, GTP, or FADH2.
Therefore, the citric acid cycle is also the central process that turns nutrients, like glucose, into usable energy, like ATP, that the body can utilize.
For now, that's all the important information we need to start our journey.
Hey, did you remember your explorer hat for the journey into the mitochondrial matrix?
Of course, I packed my invisible explorer hat. It's the latest quantum fashion.
Welcome aboard the microscopic flight from the laboratory to the mitochondria. Please enjoy your flight.
First things first, the citric acid cycle takes place inside the mitochondria, the famous powerhouse of the cell. But today we're going to prove that they deserve that title.
Before the cycle even starts, the food you eat, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, gets broken down into a crucial 2-carbon molecule called acetyl coenzyme A.
If you remember from our glycolysis episode, glucose is first split into pyruvate, and pyruvate then travels into the mitochondria and is transformed into Acetyl-CoA by the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, a multi-step enzyme machine all by itself.
Even before the citric acid cycle gets going, our cells are already making energy from glucose. When one glucose molecule is broken down into pyruvate and then converted into acetyl coenzyme A, the cells gain 2 acetyl coenzyme A molecules, 2 ATP molecules, 4 NADH molecules, and 2 carbon dioxide molecules. So energy capture actually begins well before the citric acid cycle even starts.
Alright, now we're inside the matrix of the mitochondrion. Acetyl-CoA is ready. Let's spin the wheel and walk through the 8 main steps of the cycle. Acetyl-CoA enters the cycle by combining with a 4-carbon molecule called oxaloacetate to make a 6-carbon molecule called citrate.
The enzyme in charge here is citrate synthase.
This is a condensation reaction where the two molecules come together and CoA is being released. It's like the starting gun of the race.
And no, Bobo, this citrate isn't the stuff from lemons, but it does have 3 carboxylic acid groups, and that's why we call it a tricarboxylic acid.
Next, citrate gets rearranged into a more reactive form called isocitrate. This is done by the enzyme aconitase.
First, aconitase removes a water molecule, forming a short-lived intermediate called cis-aconitate. Then it adds the water back, but in a different position.
This whole process is an isomerization reaction, changing the shape without adding or removing atoms.
It's like rotating a piece of cheese to find the perfect bite, Bobo. Strategic reorganization.
Now we get to one of the big energy steps. Isocitrate is oxidized and loses a carbon as CO2. The enzyme is isocitrate dehydrogenase.
This is an oxidative decarboxylation reaction. It turns isocitrate into alpha-ketoglutarate, a 5-carbon molecule. Along the way, we make another molecule of NADH and release a carbon dioxide molecule.
And this CO2? Yes, it's part of what you breathe out. So yes, the cycle is part of our breathing or exhaling.
Next up, alpha-ketoglutarate gets transformed into succinyl coenzyme A.
The enzyme is an alpha-ketoglutarate dehydrogenase complex, which is very similar to the earlier pyruvate dehydrogenase complex.
It performs another oxidative decarboxylation, producing a second CO2, another NADH, and the 4-carbon molecule succinyl coenzyme A.
Now, how many CO2s have we produced so far, Bobo? That's right, 2. These are the carbons you lost from that original Acetyl-CoA.
Now we get a direct payout. Succinyl coenzyme A is turned into succinate by the enzyme succinyl coenzyme A synthetase.
This step releases enough energy to generate GTP, which in many cells is directly converted into ATP, the energy currency of the cell.
So yes, you've just made your first ATP powered by cheese. Success!
Next, succinate is oxidized into fumarate by the enzyme succinate dehydrogenase.
This is an oxidation reaction that reduces FAD into FADH2.
Fun fact, this enzyme is actually embedded in the inner mitochondrial membrane. It's part of the complex 2 of the electron transport chain.
Now, fumarate gets hydrated into malate by the enzyme fumarase.
This is a simple hydration reaction, adding water across a double bond.
It's like a sponge, soaking up water, softening things up for the final step.
Last but not least, malate is oxidized back into oxaloacetate by malate dehydrogenase.
This final oxidation reaction also produces one more NADH.
And guess what? We're back at the beginning. Oxaloacetate is ready to combine with another acetyl-CoA.
You did it, Bobo! You completed the cycle! Hi, Paul! So from one acetyl coenzyme A, here's what we get. 3 NADH molecules, 1 FADH2 molecule, 1 GTP molecule or ATP, and 2 carbon dioxide molecules.
And that, dear viewers and dear Bobo, is one full turn of the citric acid cycle.
You've oxidized, decarboxylated, hydrated, and ATP'd your way through the mighty mitochondrion.
But before we move on to our grand finale in Bobo's biology, how about we catch our breath and drop some metabolic fun facts?
So for today's fun facts, we have lungs, Dinosaurs? And ancient humans and DNA? What could possibly be the common denominator between those?
Of course, it's the citric acid cycle. Fact number 1. Did you know that every time you breathe out, you're literally exhaling pieces of your food?
It's true. The carbon dioxide you exhale, that's the carbons from your snacks, being released after they've gone through the citric acid cycle. So the next time you sigh dramatically, boom, that's your sandwich leaving the building. Fact number 2. The citric acid cycle is ancient. We're talking 2 billion years old.
It's one of the oldest biochemical pathways in existence, way older than dinosaurs, humans, or even cheese, Bobo. And fact number 3. The citric acid cycle isn't just about making energy.
Right. It's also a biosynthesis hub. Intermediates from the cycle get pulled off to build amino acids, fatty acids, and even nucleotides, the stuff your DNA is made of.
So it's not just a power station. It's like a cellular supermarket that stocks everything your body needs.
That was it for today's fun facts. And now, let's move on to test your knowledge in Bobo's Brainbusters.
Question 1. Which enzyme combines acetyl-CoA and oxaloacetate to form citrate? Is it A, citrate synthase, B, aconitase, C, isocitrate dehydrogenase, or D, succinate dehydrogenase? And the answer is citrate synthase. Let's move on to question number 2. Which enzyme rearranges citrate into isocitrate? Is it A, malate dehydrogenase, B, aconitase, C, citrate synthase, or D, fumarase? And the answer is B, aconitase. Question 3. Why is the citric acid cycle considered amphibolic? Is it A, because it occurs in water, B, because it serves both catabolic and anabolic roles, C, because it requires both NADH and FADH2, or D, because it produces both ATP and CO2? The answer is B, because it serves both catabolic and anabolic roles. Question 4. Which molecule is a direct product of the step catalyzed by succinyl-CoA synthase? Is it A, NADH, B, FADH2, C, GTP, or ATP, as in most cells it's converted directly into ATP, or D, citrate? And the answer is C, GTP. Question 5. Where does the citric acid cycle take place in eukaryotic cells? Is it A, in the cytoplasm, B, in the nucleus, C, in the mitochondrial matrix, or D, in the ribosomes? And the answer is C, in the mitochondrial matrix. So that's the citric acid cycle. 8 steps, lots of molecules, and a ton of energy harvested.
It powers you with ATP, helps you breathe out carbon dioxide, and proves that mitochondria really are the powerhouses of the cell.
Even if Bobo still thinks lemons are doing the work.
And just like the citric acid cycle, this channel only keeps spinning with the right input. So if you got some energy out of this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and keep Bobo's mitochondria working overtime. See you in the next video, and stay curious.